1510, the all-new WMEX. I am Jimmy J, and we have, let me just click this button here, and then click this button here, and say that we have a very special guest on the line with us right now. And this is no ordinary guest, but nor am I an ordinary DJ. I think we should first of all sing, don't you laugh at me, I think we should first of all sing happy birthday to this guy. Are you ready? Here we go. You're going to love this, sir.
Okay.
Okay, this is official, all right? I want to make it official to you, okay?
All right.
Okay. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Is this Mr. Little Anthony of Little Anthony and the Imperials?
Well, I've heard of something like that. That used to be with that kind of thing. Yes, I've heard some things of that nature.
Well, we have a very special message for you, sir, from the New York Metropolitan Opera Singing Telegram Service. Please stand by. This is very official. Oh, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Little Anthony. Happy birthday to you.
And you want to know why the telegram system is not very popular today? That's one problem right there. Well, thank you, man. Thank you.
Anthony, welcome to WMEX, man, and happy birthday.
Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate that.
What's going on in little Anthony's life nowadays?
I'm running all over the place. Well, not as much as I used to because I pace myself now. I pick my battles. But we just started the XM Sirius Radio, my radio show. I have a show coming on, started yesterday. And I do a lot of not reminiscing, actually I tell stories about my past and all the situations I've been into with all kinds of artists. Not just the artists that came out of my era, but also artists that I heard as a kid, like Patty Page, this one and that one, Eddie Fisher. And then I talk about the Flamingos, the Moonlight, just everybody that I've experienced in all those years. And in fact, I didn't realize that all these stories were in me because they actually happened. And I got to know a lot of these people, and Teresa Brewer and all that kind of stuff, and Bobby Lester, the Moon Glows, and it's just wonderful stories of people that like their backstory. Okay, they really like backstories from what we feel the Sirius Radio felt that the people want to know that they don't know. When certain situations happen to you, why did it happen? How did you make that record? What happened when you were at that particular time? What were you thinking? Did you hit a bad note? Did you hit a good note? What kind of water were you drinking? Drinking a Coca-Cola or what? You know what I mean?
A lot of people really want to know that stuff.
You doggone right they do. Evidently, Sirius Radio knows because we did the test thing, and it was a huge response to it. So
let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. All right. Now, this is being broadcast all around the world here on WMEX in Boston. Okay. And so, but we're the kind of guy, you've known me for years. I want to know the story behind the story. Okay. What one song did you make a mistake in and they never fixed it?
Tears in My Pillow.
What happened?
That's just one or many. There's no one particular song. There are maybe hundreds. I don't know. But, in those days we recorded analog. It's a wonderful time, the way we recorded. But it wasn't, what they were looking for in those days was not so much perfection what they do today, but the technology they had today. They were looking for performances or moments. And that's what's missing in music today. There's no moment. And what I mean when I say moment, something that goes, ooh, ow, oh, makes you feel that way. And so there were mistakes that many artists made, and they could tell you. One in particular was Tears in My Pillow. People don't realize there's a third verse in that. In those days, we didn't read the music. Today, everybody reads music. It's too hard to remember all that stuff because you're getting a lot of material. But what happened was in those days that you kind of memorize it, and I just had learned the Tears in My Pillow that day, that actual day of recording, because we weren't scheduled to do that. And Mr. George Goldner, who was the president of GOURDINE Records, what I recorded for, threw that at us and said, let's do this. And whoa, right in the studio. So I had to learn real quick. I didn't remember the third verse. So Many times, one of the original Imperials, he'll tell me, Clarence will tell me, you know, you blew that last line. And then he would sing the last line. He memorized it. So, yeah, that's just one instance. But there are many, many, many instances. Not just with me, but a lot of artists. I don't know an artist that would tell you. Even Sinatra, Nat Cole, it wouldn't matter. Yep. It wouldn't matter.
Well, I know.
Something went wrong. That's like live television. Look, live television in those days. There wasn't no video. I mean, if you blew it, you blew it. That's it.
Dennis Wilson of the Beach Boys told me a story, and you have to really listen to hear this mistake. He told me that when they recorded "Do You Want to Dance," and he was reading the lyric as he was going along, and he was supposed to say, "Do you want to dance and kiss me, baby?" Another line was "Squeeze me, squeeze me, baby." Well, he came out and saying, "Do you want to dance and kiss me?" He put the two words together, and nobody caught it. And I told Al Jardine that, and he goes, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "Listen to the song, Al. You don't even know it still to this day. He messed that song up." But, you know, it happens, you know.
That's because there was the moment, like you just said. I didn't know that. I didn't care.
Yeah.
It was the song stuff, the way he did it. I love that.
Yeah.
Those are called moments.
Sure. Can we play "Tears on My Pillow" and you hang on for me for a minute?
Sure.
Okay, let's do that. And then I also want to talk about your new album, especially New York State of Mind, Billy Joel. I want to find what that's about. Hang on. First of all, here's the song. Look for the mistake. Little Anthony and the Imperials. Right here on 1510 WMEX. Jimmy J with you, celebrating Anthony's birthday and Elvis's birthday a little later on, too. Of course, I can't get Elvis on the phone. I tried, but he didn't pick up. I don't know, Anthony, what's up with him.
Don't remember me, but I remember you. 'Twas not so long ago, you broke my heart in two. Tears on my pillow, pain in my heart, caused by you. If we could start anew, I wouldn't hesitate. I'd gladly take you back and tempt the hand of fate. Tears on my pillow, pain in my heart, caused by you. Love is not a gadget, love is not a toy. When you find the one you love, you fill your heart with joy. If we could start anew, I wouldn't hesitate. I'd gladly take you back and tempt the hand of fate. Tears on my pillow, pain in my heart, caused by you.
There you go, Little Anthony of Little Anthony and the Imperials, and we're going to get right back to him in just 30 seconds.
Hey, this is Mike Milbury for Catchus Law. Catchus Law Group has experienced injury lawyers who are ready to fight for you and get you what you deserve. They have won over $1 billion for their clients since 1986, and you don't pay anything unless they win. Catchus Law Group is made up of 50 experienced attorneys and over 100 highly trained team members who truly care about your well-being and financial future. The team at Catchus Law Group will work tirelessly to get you the results you deserve. Catchus Law Group, where they take care of New Englanders who get hurt through no fault of their own. Call 508-321-7000 or learn more at catchuslaw.com.
The greatest hits, Jimmy J. 1510 WMEX.
Yeah, 1510 WMEX in Boston right here with Little Anthony of Little Anthony and the Imperials. Are you singing? What are you doing back there? What's that noise I'm hearing?
No, I just did a little coughing. Anyway, yeah, I was going to say, did you hear that when I said the third verse out of the bridge when it changes key? That was where that line was supposed to be. I just repeated the first verse.
Yeah. Wow.
See? But nobody cared. Nobody didn't know that. And it was one of the biggest hits we ever had.
Unbelievable. How many records do you think you've sold?
I say 60 million worldwide.
Wow. That's pretty good, huh?
Yeah, I was our ticket into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, by the way. They told us that.
They what?
That was my ticket into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, once you told them that.
No, they did that in their research.
Who's supposed to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Well, we could stay up till tomorrow and say that. I could say one particular group that I don't get, and that's the Fifth Dimension. They had 6 Grammys. Or was it 7? I mean, unbelievable. What do you got to do? What do you have to do?
It's unbelievable.
But it's just not the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm not going to put it on them because they're their people. But it's the Baseball Hall of Fame, Football Hall of Fame, same problem. You know why? Because you got so many people, did so many wonderful things that a lot of times we take for granted that we don't know until we realize, wow, they did that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because sometimes some of these artists may have been born in Peoria somewhere. No putting Peoria down, but they didn't get the kind of publicity a guy like me would get, Little Anthony, in New York. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it for whatever reason, it's like they told me, Mr. Stewart told me up there, he said, you know why you never made the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame until now? He said, well, you didn't make the cut. You were nominated 12 times. I said, you mean 12 years? Yeah, 12 years in a row you were nominated, and the committee never just voted. It wasn't until we saw you on the Letterman show with Paul Schaefer, who was a friend of mine, arranged for us to be on that show back in, what year was it? I forget, 15, 16, I don't remember. But, no, that was 2009. Yeah, 9. And that's what did it, because the people of the Hall of Fame realized, oh my gosh, the body of work. Because we didn't get any Grammys because there was no Grammy. I don't even think that the Priest got a Grammy. I'm not really sure. A lot of people, you would think, no. And that's the reason, because it was a new organization. A lot of us started very early, like we did in 1958. There was no Grammys. There was no Grammys in 62, 63. I think it was 64 or 65 when they first came out. So there's a lot of reasons. I don't think anybody does it purposely. It's just so many people, you know what I mean, that have been very successful in this business, and it's hard to, maybe all of them can't get in. I don't know what the reason is, but I'm very grateful we did.
Anthony, while I've got you on the phone, I want to ask you a quick question. This was supposed to be a quick interview, but you and I, when we get together, we yakety yak. That's what we do.
Stop talking.
We can talk forever. But anyway, tell the folks the story about, quickly though, the story of you playing in Washington, D.C. and a song called Shimmy, Shimmy, Cocoa Pop.
Oh.
Tell the folks that story.
Well, we got a call from the agency, and they said, there's a big benefits show in Washington, D.C. for all these congressmen, senators, and all the hobnobs and the world shakers of the world and all this kind of...
It was at the Kennedy Center, wasn't it?
I don't remember where it was.
That's where it was.
No, it was. It was?
Yeah.
It could have been.
Yeah, it was.
But wherever it was huge. And we had to be cleared by the FBI. I mean, they called me up, and they called all the guys and nurses and Clarence and Sammy. And, there are a lot of questions. And they knew a lot, believe me, before they even asked you. They just want to see if you ain't telling the truth. That's just their thing. And, no, I don't know, blah, blah. You've been arrested. Oh, well, I had a little incident a long time ago. Something like that. And, but they don't know. They'll tell you, oh, yes, you were, 19-something, at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. You're eating a hot dog at the time. So they put us through all these things, and we had to actually be picked up by an FBI agent who, in a limousine, escorted us into the building. Because because there was nothing but the movers and shakers in there. Somebody throw something in there and do something bad, we got a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because at that time was during Reagan's administration, I believe, and or was it George Bush? No, it was the first George Bush. And Joint Chiefs of Mines was there, Colin Powell was there, all senators, oh gosh, everybody. Was anybody, because you looked out and go, whoa, all these cats. And before we went on the show, there's usual people will ask you, we do requests, can you sing this, can you sing that, if at all possible. And we got one request, and I don't really actually remember that I know at that time who did that, sent that request, but I did find out who did. And there was a request to do Shimmy Shimmy, and would you really do Shimmy Shimmy? And I said, oh man, we do it in the show, but it's not one of our favorite tunes, like a lot of people should know, or now know. It isn't. You know, I mean, that wasn't what we planned on recording, but that's another story. At another time, I'll tell that one. But anyway, we got that request, and but it was already in the show, and we sang it. And I remember looking out there in the dance floor, with the beautiful gowns the women had, and the jewelry. Oh boy, this was big time, and everybody's got all the men with the beautiful tuxedos. It was pretty cool, and we're singing. And we do that, and just about 2/3 of the people that were sitting in tables and didn't look up, jumped up when we did Shimmy Shimmy. Can you figure that? And it was great. Afterwards, we were told that was Colin Powell that wanted it. And then we realized, wait a minute, how old was Colin Powell? We did Shimmy Shimmy Cocoa Pop. You know, because what we found out was the kids in 1960, the moms and dads or whatever, the little kids picked up on it. They love that. They just love it. If you play Shimmy Shimmy Cocoa Bop today, for any little kid never heard it, they'll jump around and dance, and they go, get me, Cocoa Bop, get me. You know, it's something in that song that stimulates people. Bob Dylan said the same thing. He said, it was Shimmy Shimmy Cocoa Bop. He got turned on. He said, rock will end it after that. That's what he said. I didn't say it. You could Google that. You can research it. And it's a remarkable thing. But that actually happened. Was Colin Powell. And but that when after the show we had people come backstage and I was just at awe at all these powerful people looking at me like, oh, we loved it. I love it as a kid. And oh, my mother bought this for me. And I realized these are human beings just like everybody else. They put their pants on the same way, and they probably go to the bathroom, and they get sick, and they laugh, and they talk, and they cry. That's what I found out. And I'm very happy to be a part of that industry that did something like that, so special, that it affected these people who now actually are my leaders that make policy for me. So I'm like, it's very humbling. I don't know about anybody else. I can't talk to the guys and who were there, the original guys of the group. Can't talk to them, but I can talk to myself. It was very humbling.
We're going to play it right now, and then we'll be back, okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go. Everybody get up and dance to this one now. Come on, if Colin Powell can do it, you can do it.
Shimmy, bop, shimmy, shimmy, cocoa bop, shimmy, shimmy, bop. Sitting in a native hut all alone and blue. Sitting in a native hut wondering what to do. Along came a native girl to the native dance. It was like in paradise, put me in a trance. Going shimmy, shimmy, cocoa bop, shimmy, shimmy, bop. Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa bop, shimmy, shimmy, bop. Join her in her dancing spree, felt my smile true. Held her tight and close to me, man, I'm glad I'm single. Then she showed me what to do. First I was amazed. Soon got her to step or two towards me in a dance. Going shimmy, shimmy, cocoa bop, shimmy, shimmy, bop. Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa bop, shimmy, shimmy, bop. Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa bop, shimmy, shimmy, bop. You can do the cocoa bop, now's no time to stop. Left foot, right one back, ring them side by side. A single picture.
Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa pop. Shimmy, shimmy, pop. 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 Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa pop. Shimmy, shimmy, pop.
Yeah, little Anthony right here at 1510 WMEX as we celebrate little Anthony's birthday. You're not so little anymore. You're still little, but how old are you now?
In fact, let me straighten that out. It's got nothing to do with my height. So, I have nothing to do with my stature. No, I'm 5'8", 8.5", at least I was. But the legend says it was Alan Freed. Alan Freed gave me that name. We didn't have a name for that. The original recording was in the Imperials. It said on the album, and I had people call me from the single, the 45s or the 78 those days. It was the Imperials. It didn't say Little Anthony, because there wasn't such thing. Though my name is Jerome Anthony GOURDINE, only one who knew that was the record company, my mother and dad, and the IRS. That's about it.
Right.
And Alan Freed, the legend goes that the promoter went in there with the record and said, "Hey, I want to play this for you." Considered to play on the show, whatever they did those days. I don't know really. And he listened to it, and he said, "Wow, whoa, that little girl sure can sing." And he said, the promoter said, "That is a girl. That ain't a girl. That's a guy." He said, "A guy? Wow, he must be really little, Steve. He must be little." And he said it on the radio. And he found out my name, and he said, "Little Anthony." And they had to reprint everything as Little Anthony in the Imperials. I was cut out of the herd. That's when I became Little Anthony, and I wasn't an Imperial anymore. People don't realize I became Little Anthony, who sings with the Imperials, but I'm not an Imperial anymore from that point on.
And now it's back to the same thing again. You're pretty much doing the little Anthony thing again, right? Just you and no Imperials.
No, Imperials always been a Little Anthony. There's no Imperials now, no. Not the original self. Like, nobody lives forever. Nobody goes on and on, regardless of people try to be. No. Those guys are long gone. I was talking to Otis Williams of Temptations not long ago, and we were talking about that. He said, "Hey, man, you know how many people we have in Temptations?" I said, "What?" He said, "We got like 24. I said, "Man, that's what I do." You name it, you know. And I said to him, "You know how many we had?" And he said, "What, about 8?" So the Imperials, it didn't matter. If I went out there and put 4 guys out there, you wouldn't know the difference, unless people are purists.
That's right.
Who knew Clarence, who knew Sammy, like the Beatles,
Right.
you know, John, Paul, and Ringo, and all that kind of stuff, and, you know, and George. That's how that was promoted that way, but we weren't. So you could put anybody out there, like a lot of times they do today. I mean, it's not really the people, because you can imagine that's over 60, well, how many years? 64 years ago, and people are not here anymore on this earth. So you replace people, and all kinds of reasons why people leave, they go, they come back, they leave forever, whatever. But it doesn't stay the same. But the one stable situation, the one stabling thing is me. I'm still Little Anthony, folks. I'm the real guy still here.
You're going to be in is it the Happy Together tour I saw?
Yeah, the Happy. Yeah.
Now, have you ever done that? Have you done the Happy Together?
No, never did that.
Anthony, you are going to have a blast. You really are.
I didn't know anything. They were telling me all this stuff, and one of the Turtles called me.
Yeah, Mark Bowman, probably.
You know, it was the organist of his name.
Howard, either Howard or Mark.
Yeah, I can't remember. But anyway, he messaged me, and "Hey, man, welcome to the tour. We're all looking forward to it. Oh, man, it's really cool. We've been doing this thing like 14 years. And man, just to have a fresh face there and somebody like you, man, on the tour, we really loved it. I have to give Howie at the Paradise Agency little props on that. He was the one that and sort of encouraged me to do it, because I didn't want to really do it. But he said, "No, man, come on, man. It's going to be cool, and we got all these buses, and we do this. We'll fly you, and we'll fly you first class, and this and that. And you ain't got to do it, man. You're doing about 5, 6 songs. and all the camaraderie. And I didn't realize it, man. The cats that I'd be seeing on there, man. You know, Gary Puckett. Me and Gary been knowing each other for gazillion years.
Yeah, Gary's
I
a
haven't seen
great
him in a
friend.
long time. I get to hang out with him for a couple of months. Is that cool or not?
You're going to love him. He's a great guy. He's a
I know
phenomenal
he's a great guy when I hung out with him.
You're going to also
So,
meet Tom Garrett. You're going to meet him for the first time. He's with the Classics 4, and he's an incredible friend, and you're going to love him. And I'm going to tell him to make sure he takes care of you.
You know, I never met the Cowsells, never.
Wow.
That's the first time I hear it's like two of the original or something like that's there.
Yeah.
And who else? There's a bunch of people in there, man. I can't get it on the top of my mind right away, but
It's all right. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, and
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. Now, let me ask you this, because we really need to wrap this up. How did you wind up with Billy Joel in New York State of Mind? How did that happen?
Well, I know Billy Joel before he was Billy Joel. That doesn't sound right, does it? But I needed to say, before he became famous, back when, and you know, out of Long Island, and he was a kid in New York, and we was, I don't know. To make a long story longer or shorter, Billy Joel and I knew each other for a very long time, and I would end up doing something with him, maybe a big benefit show or something. And then we did the 50th anniversary of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and we did the Long Island Hall of Fame that I was inducted. The guys that I was inducted into in 2006, and he would always be there. And one of the things I would always tell Billy, hey, I sure all that song, New York State of Mind, because I'm such a New Yorker to the bone, still a New Yorker, in my blood, you know. And I love that. And then when I saw him, he kind of mentioned all this kind of stuff, and in my mind, in the back of my mind, I'm going to do something. But Billy did. I actually did, but it wasn't New York State of Mind until Mike Miller came up to me. Mike Miller was the producer of the album that we did,
Sure.
called Little Anthony's and the Music. That's what I'm known as now, Little Anthony and the Music.
Mike, let me just say, Mike Miller is one of the classiest, nicest people I've ever known, and I am proud to say that it's because of me that he got into radio.
Yes, he told me that.
Yeah, and so I'm proud to say that, and he's just a great talent. So anyway, we got that straightened out.
We just were friends for so many years, and neighbors here in Florida.
Yep.
And we were just talking one night, we were just some kind of function, and we were there. And he said, well, you know, we should do this and that. And then another cat by the name of Jerry Blavitt in Philadelphia,
Sure.
going to Gita with the Eater, he told me the same thing. He said, man, you did a lot of great stuff that nobody knows about. It was on your albums, but they were like better than anything I've ever heard. They were like commercially not received so much as they were artistically received. And it is like really turned me on. And so anyway, I said to myself, I need to really do something like that. And Mike said, yes, let's do all these. Let me do some forensic work on this and put it together. And he did. And then we put some new stuff on, like the Sinatra tune. I call it the Sinatra tune. That's great, Anthony. Your mind is not working very fast. This is my birthday, 82. Anyway, I did that, and then I did New York State of Mind. And I thought to myself, well, New York is going through a bit of problems now. They're having a lot of problems, but there's something special about that place, man. I don't know what it is, but it's special. And it's worth kind of, you don't kick people in their down, things ain't going that well. And I just thought if I do this song, maybe in my own way of contributing the song I love that Billy did, plus the fact it talks about the greatness of New York in many ways. And that's how we did it, and that's what they did.
Yeah, it's really produced nice, too.
Yeah, and it's on all the platforms. You can get it on, the regular places, the Amazon, the iTunes, and then you can get it at let me see, HarmonyStreet.biz, or you can get it. There are a lot of things.
Yeah, pretty much wherever great music is sold. I know that.
Yeah, there's just a lot of places. You can Google my page. You can Google Mike Miller's page, MikeMiller.com.
Yeah. Oh, you can go through Mike Miller through my page too. Same thing.
Yeah, your page. Yeah. So there's ways Forget it today. You know, the music business has changed a great deal. The
Well,
more record stores.
We're going to play it right now, Anthony, and let you go and celebrate your birthday. I don't know. You got to be very careful. 82 candles, man. You're going to need the fire department there.
No, hey, you know what I'm doing? I'm turning them candles around, baby.
I already did that. My birthday mine's on Wednesday, and I said I'm going to be what am I? I'm going to be 37. I'm going to be 37 on Wednesday. So yeah.
Right.
Hey, buddy, have a happy birthday, and I look forward to seeing
so much,
you on the tour. And we'll see you on the Happy Together tour. It's going to be fun. You're going to have a blast, and we appreciate you hanging out for what was supposed to be 5 minutes was like a half hour, but somebody's going to lock the studio when I'm in here, so that's it. Happy birthday, my friend. Here it is right now, ladies. Thank you, buddy. Here's a New York State of Mind from Little Anthony on WMEX.
Some folks like to get away, take a holiday from the neighborhood. Hop a flight to Miami Beach or to Hollywood. But I'm taking a Greyhound on that Hudson River line. I'm in a New York state of mind. I've seen all the movie stars and the fancy cars and the limousines. Been high in the Rockies under the evergreens. But I know what I'm needing, and I don't want to waste more time. I'm in a New York state of mind. It was so easy living day by day, out of touch with the rhythm and blues. But now I need a little give and take. The New York Times, oh, the Daily News. It comes down to reality, and it's fine with me, 'cause I let it slide. Don't care if it's Chinatown up on the riverside. Oh, I don't have no reasons, I left them all behind. I'm in a New York state of mind. It was so easy living day by day. Out of touch with the rhythm and blues. But now I need a little give and take. The New York Times, the Daily News. It comes down to reality, and it's fine with me, 'cause I've let it slide. Don't care if it's Chinatown or up on the riverside. I don't have any reasons, left them all behind. I'm in a New York state of mind. But I'm taking a Greyhound on that Hudson River line. I'm in a New York I'm in a New York state of mind. Oh yes, oh yeah, oh yeah. Mind.
Thanks for little Anthony being a guest here on WMEX. It was a last minute thing and it was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I did record most of it. I didn't get the beginning. It's a shame because that was really kind of funny. But anyway, he's a great guy and he'll be on the Happy Together tour this summer. You want to check him out, all right? All righty then. Don't forget the Jordanaires coming up at 1 o'clock as we salute Elvis Presley on his birthday. So many birthdays rolling around here. I don't know. Count them up, huh?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anthony, Elvis, and me.